If you've been following my videos, you know that I'm a huge fan of using Poolish to make pizza dough. A simple overnight recipe with Poolish is so much more flavorful in my experiments than longer ferments using regular methods to make pizza dough. It's more flavorful than 3-day ferments, 5-day ferments. It's just really, really good pizza dough. Really good tasting pizza crust. So I'm experimenting using Poolish, trying to learn the parameters. And for the experiment today, what I did was I used a 70% hydration dough using Poolish, whereas my traditional recipe is 65% hydration. And by the way, I'm going to put the recipes in the video description if you'd like to check them out. I learned a few things. Number one, shaping the 70% hydration dough is faster, a little bit easier, faster process than the 65%. It just is more loose and stretchy, and it just holds the shape easier. Not a huge deal, but it's something to notice. Now, number two, when it came to the actual pizza crust, as you can see, the higher hydration dough produced a much airier, bigger rim on the pizza, larger gas bubbles in there. The two taste the exact same, but it's mainly the appearance. The rim is lighter, airier, and as you notice, it's also darker. I think what's happening is when you have a more puffy rim, the outside layer of the dough is just thinner, right? And so that thin dough touching the heat is going to, crisp up a little bit more than a thick dough. So I think that's what's going on there. I'm not going to say one way is better than the other. It's just something to notice. I can't say if I like one better than the other, but overall, those are the differences. The higher hydration dough shaped a little bit easier. The rim is a little bit puffier. The rim has more color to it, but the taste is the exact same. I really can't say one is better than the other. It's just, they're just different. I mean, I did like, if I had to shape a lot of pizzas, it'd be nicer to shape the higher hydration dough, just because you can shape them easier, faster. I do like the color of the crust isn't everything, but I do appreciate a little bit of darkness in there, a little bit of color. So with that being said, that's the results of my experiment. I'm going to do probably just one or two more experiments using Poolish, then move on to something else. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, and by the way, when you're making the Poolish, there's so many variables, the water temperature you're using, the air temperature in your kitchen, the strength of the yeast, the freshness of the yeast, etc. The most important thing is when you're making the Poolish, before you mix the Poolish in with the dough ingredients, the remaining flour and water and all that, you want the Poolish to smell very, very fragrant. You want it to smell like a strong yeast smell or even a buttermilk sour smell, but you do not want it to smell like alcohol or acetone, like nail polish remover. If you've gone that far, it's ruined. You got to start over, throw it away. But that's a really important part for getting that extreme flavor in Poolish, is getting that Poolish nice and fermented and really fragrant.